Cool, man. It's a pleasure to be able to do this with
Let's have a good conversation, man. This is the origins. This is
awesome.
dragon energy right here.
Dragon Energy.
This is dragon energy. Let's get it.
But a little bit about us, right? Well, we'll start with just kind of who we are. So my name is Jeffery Hampton. I'm a doctor of physical therapy at a company called Neolife Physical Therapy and Wellness. It's in D'Iberville, Mississippi. I went to undergraduate at Ole Miss, Hotty Toddy, and I am certified in dry needling, McKenzie Part A, and I have a passion for pickleball because of this guy here. But I've been doing this for about a year and a half now, and really it's just a matter of surrounding myself with people with like minds, like this guy here, and this guy kind of behind the scenes doing the audio. He's a big part of this as well, but I grew into the state where I was getting super content with where I was at, and I think a big part of this is like, I feel like I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Just like seeing you kind of, take control of your life. Social media is such a huge thing nowadays, and it's something that we have to take advantage of before it just gets overly saturated, So, just trying to get out of that contentness and really just try to reach for the stars, and like you said, taking it day by day, one video at a time, and you never know what can happen. But that's just a little bit about me. But yeah.
These two guys are my boys. So we decided to, and by the way, I'm Austin Baskin, Doctor of Physical Torture. That's what I like to go by.
Physical torture.
Physical torture.
Patient say.
Yeah. Physical torturers, as they like to say it. But Doctor of Physical Therapy. Me and Jeff have been practicing around the same amount of time. He went to UMC. I went to William Carey, right down the road. So we've communicated with each other throughout school. We trained together. We studied together. We grinded together. But dry needling certified, ultrasound guy, dry needling certified strength and conditionist, exercise science nerd, big nerd on exercise science, and pickleball enthusiast. Our origin started with disc golf.
Oh, it actually did.
Yeah,
did.
Jeff was my coach first.
Oh, yeah.
And we were playing disc golf, and we were having a lot of success with that. We were having fun with it, but I started to get back into tennis. I started to play a lot more.
That's kind of when it all
I
started.
was a college tennis player, right? I played at Jones County Junior College, had a lot of success there, finished number 2 in the state, got beat by the same guy who beat me. My first loss was my last loss. This dude named David McElwain. Played that.
He sounds like a tennis pro.
In Itawamba Community College, but he got me there towards the end. But it taught me a lot about myself and adversity, and you just gotta keep on pushing, man. So like taking those losses on the chin, when it comes to tennis, when it comes to everything. That's how you grow, man.
Yeah.
And just like how Jeff was referring to, complacency is death.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you one thing, like disc golf, I might seem like I'm good. Like Batchy has been playing, he started playing. Sebastian's behind doing audio quality and stuff, but he's just as big in this as we are, right? He's just as much a part of this as we are. But, we started in disc golf about a year and a half ago. I've been playing for maybe 2 years now. And like these guys see me do really, really well in disc golf, but they don't understand it took hitting so many trees to get good.
Losing so many discs.
Right? That's failure.
I think we need to start to find comfort within the uncomfortable, because when we're talking in terms of growth on whatever we're doing, like pickleball PTs, it's not comfortable making a video at 11 o'clock at night when you're tired and the wife's pregnant and you got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we do it because deep down it's necessary, and because we do like this. Pickleball is something we got into because it's what brings us together.
100%.
It brings us together. At Neolife Physical Therapy, we've got most of our technicians playing, and we want to elevate the game of pickleball. Our goals, we are doctors of physical therapy who aspire to elevate the game of pickleball.
100%.
That is the game. So we're not just trying to do this to absorb from that community. We're trying to give to that community.
We're trying to give and plant the seed.
We're trying to plant the
other
seed.
individuals.
So you would say that's the purpose of pickleball PTs?
100%. This is a passion of mine. We are trying to give back to the community with pickleball with our knowledge of biomechanics and us being movement specialists. I don't like the term, Jeff, do you like the term physical therapist?
No.
It sounds lame. I don't think it encompasses what we really do.
I like functional movement specialists, something like that.
Functional movement specialists. Yeah. Like, to me, that's the key, is to break this stigma of physical therapists. Okay, you guys just,
heat, stretching, flexibility, that's it.
Bro.
I can't tell you how many times I've had a patient tell me, like, I wasn't expecting all of this with PT. And I think that's the cool thing about, me and you and just everybody else that's on the staff here, just Neolife in general. It's like it when you hear things like that, it really just feels like we're shifting that paradigm,
100%.
And it's a cool thing to hear.
I've had multiple patients come up to me and they're like, "Oh, so you're a doctor?" And I have to go through that whole spill. Have you figured out, like, your thing, like, when somebody's, "Oh, so, like, you're just a physical therapist," but then you have to explain to them, like, we actually have, like, our doctorate kind of. Yeah. We did, like, research and shit like that. Yeah. We conducted, like, systematic reviews.
Yeah. Well, a lot of patients really would just be, they'll be pretty kind of surprised. They would just be like, they'll notice the diploma and they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know you were a doctor of physical therapy." Yeah. But, and I've heard you give the spill too. And, like, I feel this way as well. It's like, I don't care about that label at all. Like, at the end of the day, I'm just here to help you
100%.
And get you back to where you need to be.
Platform,
I think so many people they care so much about that title, when in reality, there's a lot of physical therapists that have that title, but, like, not everybody's a good therapist.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel as if some PTs just want to work a job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we have the opportunity to use the doctorate as a platform to spread good information about, how can we play pickleball longer? Sure. How can we maintain the longevity of pickleball in your pickleball career? How can you increase your capacity to optimize your pickleball game? And that's the basis of our videos, is to our channel and our brand, is to how can we promote the longevity of your game? How can we increase the capacity for you to grow in the sport? And how can you enjoy it more, most importantly? How can you enjoy it to the best? Like, how can you really, really enjoy the game? Because let's face it, pain fucking sucks.
Yeah.
When you're in pain, that dampens your life experience. That dampens the things that you enjoy. Your personality changes. Your outlook on the world changes. So pain is not bad per se, but pain is information for us to act upon. And that's where we come into play.
100%. 100%.
So the first podcast is always fun because we find the rhythm. You know what I'm saying?
That was super smooth. Like I think that's really what a podcast should be. Is just like having your kind of timeline in a sense. Like if you're hosting a podcast, right? You'll have your notes. I mean, but like hit each bullet point. Have a conversation.
Authenticity.
Right?
So like for me, example, I hate like looking at a script or some bullshit like that. Like when us three are together, I feel the highest form of like authenticity. Like, so like I can be myself around you guys.
I think that's really important.
And that's where like the best ideas come from. It's like when we're in a state of authenticity and we're vibrating at the highest waveform.
Yeah.
So and that's the same with our community of pickleballers. Like I believe that when we're vibrating at this wavelength, then the opportunities are going to present themselves for us to help people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we can be our most authentic self. If we're trying to like script stuff, be all robotic, that's not where the magic happens. No. So like our goal ultimately is to elevate the game of pickleball. We have to be authentic.
Yeah.
I got to express my autism.
Yeah. The tisms.
I'm tismed up. Surprise. I'm tismed.
According to us, we all got a little bit of the tisms.
We're on the spectrum.
Yeah.
We're on the spectrum. Like it's just how it is.
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but
I
think you are too. If you're listening, I think you are too. Yeah, Batch.
So I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
You guys treat a lot of patients every day, daily. Is there any carryover from treating patients like that translates into pickleball as far as like some of the
like in terms of like what, like in terms of the like patient carryover or carryover for us into pickleball?
Just like in terms of like the different conditions you guys see patient to patient or just case by case. Is there anything that you take from physical therapy and directly translates into pickleball, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, mean, I could start it off
Yeah,
here.
go ahead.
Yeah. So, a lot of what you probably hear me and Austin talking about a lot is hip rotation, right? Pickleball is a rotational sport, just like disc golf is a rotational sport, right? So a lot of times you'll find a lot of your power and energy, the kinetic energy starts with the ability to fully kind of coil into this internally rotated state of the hip, right? So you're doing like mobility exercises, for example, like hip swivels or things like that to access that greater range of motion, which can in turn carry over into a sport like pickleball, right? For disc golf, for example, right? Something as simple as open books, whether it's a modified open book, like half kneeling, sideline, whatever it may be, your coil starts here. Like that's where the energy starts, right? Before you sling the disc.
He makes it look so good too.
And but let's say
so effortless. It's not that easy.
Right, but
it takes time.
Limitations throughout those facet joints of your spine, you're not going to be able to access that full potential, right? So like there's a lot of things that can carry over into both disc golf or just any sport. But in particular, I would say disc golf and pickleball are rotational, dominant
100%.
sports. Yeah.
Yeah, so with physical therapy, what people think is we are just working on like muscles and bones and but we are trying to create more comprehensive, robust human beings.
Yes.
We're trying to get the big thing for me when I'm working with a pickleball player, a tennis player, or any kind of athlete. How can we get all of your systems working together? The nervous system, the musculoskeletal system encompass the neuromuscular system. We're trying to create neuromuscular adaptations and get the system, fascial systems, lymphatic systems, and tegumentary system. So what can we do from an interventional standpoint to get all the systems working together? That's a very kind of global, broad statement, but our goal is to make you a more comprehensive, robust human being. So what is pickleball? Pickleball requires power. We train power. The ATP PCR system really focusing on really trying to create force. And they say pickleball serves don't matter. I don't think that shit's true. I can stack the fuck out of that ball this serve and people miss it, especially when you're at 3-5. I played a 3-5 tournament. I won that shit. Serving hard. It works. Yeah. But on power, definitely focusing on, aerobic capacity. You have to be able to play a pickleball game for around 15 to 20 minutes on average to like 11. You got to have that gas in the tank. Mm-hmm. So we're working on cardiovascular endurance, ATP, PCR, power production. We're definitely working on your glycolytic systems. Like, when you got to go for a long time, you got to be able to go, So we're trying to tap into all energy systems and create the perfect pickleball player. Yeah. Look at Ben Johns, for example. He's fast, he's quick, he's reactive. The dude can really like your nervous system has to be dialed in. Yeah. When you're playing pickleball, that's what me and Jeff love neuroorthopedics, because we're not just muscles, bones. We're trying to get the brain, spinal cord, muscles to work together fast.
That's where everything originates. Yeah, right? It's the brain. The brain. But
so we're big on training the nervous system, doing a lot of things to upregulate neural drive. But like if you look at the best guys in the world, they don't look like fucking like bodybuilders or jacked. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Jeff are like we're athletic. I'd say so. I'm not big into the whole looks thing anymore, but I think our training translates that and reflects that. Mm-hmm. But like Ben Johns, what's that one? Batchy. What are some big guys?
Jack Sock.
That's
my personal favorite.
We're gonna get you on here, Jack Socks. Yeah. We're gonna get you and Ben Johns on here. I guarantee it. I'm calling it now.
You're better than Ben Johns.
Episode 1, we will have you on here. We're gonna get you guys in the clinic too, because we want to optimize you. You can still get better. You can always get better.
Always.
I think. I mean, obviously the pros have like crazy reaction times.
For sure.
But nothing against Dan. But I think Dan is the perfect example of that. Like, you would not think that this dude could keep up.
You're talking about our Dan, right?
Yes, our Dan.
He's sick.
He's so the antagonist of our story, and I'm the antagonist of his.
Nothing against him at all, right?
I'm coming for you, Dan.
He's a very athletic person, right? But you wouldn't think that.
He's the best. Dan is the best, at reaction time, in my opinion, and the best thinker. Yeah. Because, like, when it comes to pickleball, like conventionally, you're getting a lot of dinking going on.
Yes.
But I think with Dan, because his worst nightmare is like when I start playing tennis. Tennis and pickleball are different sports, but you can utilize tennis games, lobs, heavy ground strokes, heavy serves, especially when you're still below 4.0 level. Mm-hmm. That can be a super effective strategy that tennis players can use. Me and Jeff beat college tennis players one time in a tournament because we played pickleball.
Yeah.
But if I want to beat a pickleball player, I'll play tennis sometimes. So it's just a matter of being adaptable. So when it comes to pickleball, you can be a strategist, or you can just fall into the dogma of, okay, I'm just going to ding. So you need to be able to be flexible with your strategies. So, find the solution in the moment.
Yeah.
It's all about finding the solution in the moment. Me and Batchy go shield wall sometimes.
Shield wall, baby.
We go hard to the cars. That's our playbook.
Hold the line.
Yeah, hold the line. Hold the line. Defense. Sometimes we don't even go to the box because we know Dan and Jeff are so good at dinking. So what can we do to push them back?
Yeah.
What can we do to make
it's frustrating, man?
What can we do to push them back? What can we do to mess up and use our environment, to our advantage? If it's sunny outside, fuck it, lob.
Yeah.
That's just gonna hurt the eyes. You know what I'm saying? That's like if I see it sunny outside, I'm gonna lob you, bro.
Yeah. And in the same token, like when me and Dan play a lot, we know that Batch and Austin might not be the greatest at dinking, right? And we're pretty good with the third shot drop. So we're trying to approach the kitchen, but they're trying to keep us away from the kitchen, right?
Jeff gets the most improved award for third shot drop. It's insane.
Yeah, I've been working on it.
It is insane. So formerly, Jeff would hit me a pretty high ball. I'd put it away,
Yeah. Yeah.
So easy tennis volley put away. Board slam a pickleball, however you want to phrase it. But like nowadays, Jeff literally neutralizes me. So it's getting harder and harder and harder. But
he used to whoop us all the time.
I play tennis. Now we're I'm going to the dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going to the dark side. We're full transition mode to pickleball now. We're full transition
full
mode.
swing.
We're full transition mode.
If anybody, sorry to cut you off, but if anyone's on the coast, we'll have a tent out at Pickler on their opening day, December 14th from I think it's 12 to 3. We'll be there.
I want to stay there all day. Whenever we can.
But we'll have a tent out there. So if any of you guys are interested in PT or just want to talk to us some more and just meet us or get to know us, we'll be out there from, I believe, 12 to 3, if I'm not mistaken. But
to give you a little background, the Pickler, it's Drew Brees' building, right?
I believe
he owns it.
I believe so. I mean, I know he has some pretty large investments into.
It's a huge indoor facility that's going to be state of the art.
I think 15 courts, queued like in terms of like trying to play. You don't have to sit there and call downs all the time. Like there's a queue system, so you can queue yourself in, so you can play by yourself. You can match up with somebody you don't know. There's a lot of the newest paddles, and they have stock of open paddles already, so you can test paddles prior to buying the paddles, which a lot of us don't have the opportunity to do now. Like now,
paddles aren't cheap, bro,
and they're not cheap, right? So, no. I mean, I think this will be a cool thing for the community down here as well. Just because pickleball's growing so much. Like we've been playing since April now.
Yep, sounds right.
And like it feels like we've been playing forever, and it's not going to stop growing. Not anytime soon. So
I think it's going to be even the high schools nowadays.
They have some clubs.
Biloxi has like a legit team now.
Yeah.
So I think we should be connecting with them.
Yeah.
Asking if we can help them out. We're here for them. But just going back to what Jeff said, so we're going to be working the Pickler. So we want to get into the community and work these events. We want to be there for you so we can elevate you. That's our goal.
That's our goal.
Is to we want to get out there in the community. We want to get to know you guys on a more personal level, and we want to let you guys know that we are here at Neolife to make you a more comprehensive, robust human being and pickleball player.
So that they can do this for a long time.
The longevity, longevity is huge. This is a crazy fact right here, and this is why this is the reason maybe why you should be playing pickleball racket sports. On average, people who play racket sports tend to live 10 years longer.
Yep.
I'll repeat that. People who play racket sports such as tennis, pickleball, racquetball tend to live 10 years longer.
A lot of cerebellum.
Fucking cheat code. Why would you not want to do a cheat code?
Do you want to explain why? Like cerebellum involvement, majority of gray matter.
Gray matter neurons in the cerebellum tend to really upregulate and gain density with those neurocognitive sensory motor activities. So this is what I think it is. This is my theory, because we can't prove why this happens. We just know based on the epidemiological data, this is what happens, because you're having to stress multiple systems. Cardiovascular system, you're getting cardio.
Yeah.
musculoskeletal. You're bending forward. You're stressing the tissues, you're stressing the muscles, and you're using your brain. You're playing chess out there. This is a chess match. So I think once you start to incorporate all those components together, you're going to promote longevity. Yeah, that's the key right there. And also you're with your friends. You're bonding, you're socializing.
You're getting some vitamin D. You're getting outside.
D, bro. Yes, maybe a couple zinnies. A little 6 milligram zinnies. A little upper decky in there. Just get the neurons firing for the reaction time.
We're not sponsored by Zen, but we would take a sponsorship.
Bro, but
I wouldn't be against it.
There's nothing that I look more forward to than putting in a 6 milligram, maybe 2, Zen and playing some doubles with me, Bats, Jeff, and Dan.
Yeah,
that's
those are some heated matches.
Those are some heated matches. It's always like 15, 13. Stresses me out. I start to lose my mind, but I love it.
I'm being completely honest with you. When you lose your mind out there, it makes me happy.
Jeff hit me in the nuts, and I was my testosterone went down by 500 points for 2 days. And I'm still recovering.
I was aiming for the forehand leg,
the right hip. So like
right hip.
Jeff's really good because when you get closed off, like say he's a right-handed player. Because usually when you're dinking, you're primarily using your backhand. But once you like close off that right hip and then hit to their kind of right hip to where they don't have access to that external rotation, horizontal abduction, we really figure out how limited we are as human beings.
Well, you were in a closed, you were internally rotated other right hip, your forehand hip, and it was coming to my right side. You were closed off. Just hit it.
It's so cool, even kind of as like a biomechanist, how we can coach pickleball players when it comes to like body positioning. Yeah. So like a lot of my patients, I'll be like, hey, if you hit it this way, they don't have the capacity to rotate as far, and you can get them off balance and get to the kitchen faster. So it's just like little things like that. I feel like that's how we can help as well.
Sure. Yeah.
It's from a biomechanics standpoint of where to hit the ball, how to make your opponent feel uncomfortable.
I agree.
That's kind of cool stuff, in my opinion. Using some chess as some biomechanics. Movement specialists. Words are hard sometimes. Movement specialists. Functional movement specialists. That's cool. It's like how can you elucidate or identify the flaws of being human and play to that as your advantage? That's fun stuff.
Yeah. Play your game.
Play your game, man. Play your game. Do what feels comfortable, and do what makes them feel uncomfortable. That's pretty cool. I feel like Ben Johns would agree with that.
Oh,
Jack Sox would agree with that.
What do y'all think?
Maybe.
But yeah,
let us know in the comment section.
But yeah, probably should get 20 minutes. We got to get back to the clinic.
That was a good first session.
That was great.
There's more to this to come.
Yeah.
We're just getting started. This is the origins. We're going to remember this episode forever, and this is going to be the platform by which we, as doctors of physical therapy, aspire to elevate the pickleball community everywhere.
Well said. Well said.
All right, brother.
There it is. Signing off. See you guys on the next one.